Rope minions! Hi guys, so we've made it to the final of the second series of Tension. Unfortunately, due to some scheduling issues, we don't have everyone on board that we would have liked. However, we do have 3 of the finalists and an unexpected guest that really did make the episode a really good one. So let's just jump straight in, and I hope you enjoy. So, representing in the final of the second series of Tension, we have Robbie representing the Checkmates podcast. We have James representing James Does Quizzes. We have Max as a late step-in representing trying to get some kind of redemption for
not having that
his previous episode. And Stephen representing himself and finding time to get on the show. So how are we all? Are we all good?
Yeah, so happy to be here.
I don't know if you want to.
Sounded really genuine, that.
Yeah.
And I know this answer, I've got a cold, but I can just say, yeah, I'm fine if you want.
Since my last appearance, I've lost my job, so I've had nothing to do. I've been waiting for this.
Have you
just been sat in my room, just waiting?
You've just been in that suit the whole time, just waiting for a job interview. Constantly waiting for a job interview. Love it, love it. Well, we are obviously playing the game of Tension. I'll briefly run over the rules again for those that maybe don't remember how to play it. 10 questions, all top 10s, ranging from 1 point down to 10, depending on how rare the answer you give. With each question, there is tension answers. I will say how many there are at the start of the question. If you hit the tension zone, that is worth -5. If you give me a correct answer that's lower than the tension answer or an incorrect answer, you'll score -3. There are, within the 10 questions, 2 double pointers. I know where they are, you don't. I will tell you when they come up. And of course, there is no cheating and also no the same answers as everyone else. So do remember, if somebody takes your answer, you will need to give me another answer. Hopefully you all have a pen and a piece of paper in front of you, which will be useful. And you will run through in order the way that you appear on my screen, meaning the order for tonight is, because it's first in, last to go, it's Max to go first, Stephen to go second, James to go third, and Robbie to go fourth. Right then, so we are ready to go for the first question. So Max, can you give me a number between 1 and 10, please?
It's going to be a hot one.
A hot one to start.
Question
number
let's
1.
Do it.
Excellent. And I know that Stephen loves a Scrabble question. So here we go. I would like to know, please, the top 10 highest scoring months of the year if they were played on a Scrabble board. Now, this is obviously assuming that they don't hit any kind of special squares. This is just it being played out as a singular word on a Scrabble board with no treble, double letters or anything else. If the score for multiple months is the same, then the month that appears earlier in the year will appear higher on the list. There are, for this question, obviously, 2 tension answers.
Letters.
The last letter you got was a P45, wasn't it?
They've not even said that yet. I don't think they can afford it.
This is a horrible question, by the way.
I'm just told.
I mean, if you think this one's horrible, you should see some of the questions I've got coming up for this.
Can we see them?
No.
You just send them to me now. I'd be more than happy, man.
I put them on the green screen for you. Right then, Max, we'll take your first answer, please.
I'm going to say, oh God, August.
Max has gone with August, and we move round to Stephen.
I ruled 1 month out. That was August.
No.
I don't know. I don't want any piece of that. I'm torn between 3. I might just have to play it safe, as I always do. I'll take... I'll go May.
May. And round to James.
I think I know what the bottom 2 are, so just not go for one of those. I'm going to go June.
Okay. And Robbie, with your Scrabble knowledge, you are welcome to explain any workings out here.
I've not really played Scrabble, so I'm going to pick February.
Yeah, that's a half-decent explanation. I like that.
I mean, I've played it a bit, but not for 20 years.
Sure, no
I
problem.
don't know how the games change these days.
How the game's evolved over the
Yeah.
last God knows
So
how
many new
years.
letters.
Oh, it's just
Gagan
always
Christ and all
appearing. All those new words, you know, brat and
Yeah.
crap just appearing in the dictionary. Right, well, going down from the top of the list, scoring you 17 on a Scrabble board would be the month of January. That would get you 1 point. Second on the list, scoring you 16 would be the month of February. So, Robbie, you get yourself 2 points to begin with. It's scoring, it's positive, it's a good start. Third, fourth, and fifth will actually all score you 15 points. So they go in order of how early in the year they appear, and they are September for 3, November for 4, and December for 5. For 6 points, with one of the J's, July will get you 14 points on a Scrabble board. Seventh on the list, worth 12 points on a Scrabble board, would be March. Eighth on the list, worth, eighth and ninth are both worth 11 points. Appearing earlier in the year is the month of June, which will get James 8 points. Ninth on the list, also worth 11 points, but appearing later in the year is October.
Oh, come on.
And for your 10 maximum points, scoring 8 points on the Scrabble board is the shortest month of the year, May. So, Stephen, you get yourself 10 points to start with on the first question, because your two tension answers, both worth 7 points on the Scrabble board, are April and August.
Oh, of course it
So,
is.
unfortunately, Max,
Yeah,
you
right.
start yourself off with a nice -5 in the first question. You know, possibly.
Ace. I like to work down just so I can get that great ending, you know.
It might have been worth not answering the phone from Stephen. But we'll see. Right, so we move round. Stephen, is your question number, please?
I'll go with number 8, please.
Question number 8 is a double point question, Stephen. Well hit. Okay, so this is a geography/country question, and I would like to know, of the 193 UN member states around the world, or countries as you probably know most of them as, can you tell me the top 10 in order of total area and size, or area or size of the country? However, they must start and end with a vowel. So the 10 largest countries in the world, 193 member states.
By size, yeah.
Total size. So imagine the outside of the country, the drawing of the outside of the country.
Lovely.
However, they must start and end with a vowel. There are, for this question, 3 tension answers. We'll give you another 20 seconds here, gentlemen. This is going to make for riveting watching this.
Just trim all of this bit.
Can you just feel the banter between contestants at this point? Right, I think it's time to push you for an answer here, Stephen.
Yep. I think I'm going to go with Ethiopia.
Stephen has gone with Ethiopia, and of course this is a double pointer, so remember that everything is doubled here. We move round to James.
Ethiopia was going to be the one that I was going to go for. I'm going to go Angola.
Angola. Okay, and over to you, Robbie.
I'm gonna go India, batting off singles.
We're doubling this
It's
one.
just the Jeffrey boycott, just defending,
Wait
just
there.
defending that ball. Yeah. Wait, no. Right, over to you, Max. Any explanation of the answer you've got? Feel free.
It's the first country I thought of, Argentina.
Lovely.
Had that on my list.
Okay, so we have, going down the list of the double point questions. So, top of the list, it would be worth 2 points in this particular question, is Australia. It's out there by quite a way, to be fair. Second on the list, worth 4 points, would be India. So, Robbie, you get yourself 4 points. Third on the list, worth 6 points, is Argentina. Max,
Yes,
so you
someone
get yourself
won.
6 points. He's in the positive. Fourth on the list, worth 8 points, is Algeria for 8 points. Fifth on the list, worth 10 points, would be Indonesia. I don't know if anyone had that on their list. Sixth on the list, worth 12 points, is Angola, James.
Take that.
So you get yourself 12 points. Seventh on the list, worth 14 points, is Ethiopia. So well done, Steve, and you get 14 points there. Your only 3 better answers for the question would have been Ukraine, Uganda, and Eritrea. 10 points. That would have been Eritrea was the 20-point answer. Nobody fell into the trap of the 3 tensions, which would have been Austria, Estonia, and Armenia. Had you have gone though, that would have been worth -10. But you all are positive on question 2, so well done. And we, who? Sorry,
USA.
I was going to say I was going to ask about USA.
The United States.
Yeah, it's the United States of America. Yeah, it's that kind of, depending on the name, however you say it. So we move round to James. A question number, please.
I'll have number 10, top of the shop, please.
Top of the shop, number 10. Okay, this is a question about the world, but not population-based. So, based on the 2024 numbers from the Global Peace Index, I would like to know the top 10 safest countries to live in Europe. Now, the Global Peace Index takes into account 23 different indicators, ranks them 1 to 5, and the lowest score, the safer the country. To be on this list, though, the countries must have a population of at least 1 million people. So you think your tiny countries, they're not involved here. We're talking about countries of at least 1 million in Europe, and there are 3 tension answers.
This can be your answer to the last question. Max, what were you up to before you came in?
Jobs?
Crying.
Yeah, all of that. I've still got some wax on my leg from yesterday.
I don't know what you mean. Sorry.
All right, I'll give you all 10 more seconds on this, gentlemen. There is a quiz still going on, just about. It's clinging on at this point, but there is a quiz going on. Right then, James, we will go for your first stab, please.
I don't really know where to go with this one, but I'll go with Denmark.
Denmark, no problem. Robbie, over to you.
I'll stay in that area and go Norway.
No problem. Over to you, Max.
I've got Sweden.
And finally, any explanations, Steve? Feel free to jump in.
I've got 4 countries written down here: Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Switzerland.
Switzerland was on my list as well.
which leaves me with Switzerland, unless Iceland was in the back of my mind, but I don't really know what goes on there, so I'll go Switzerland.
Excellent. Well, you'll be glad to know, Stephen, you made the right choice there, because Iceland would have been top of the list, but they have less than 1 million.
I was going to say I didn't know they had 1 million people.
So that would have been incorrect. But because of that, that means that top of the list, worth 1 point, is Ireland. Amazingly, I thought that some kind of conflict there might have caused that to be slightly higher, but no, it is the second highest European country on the list. So second on this list, worth 2 points, is Austria. That would get you 2 points. Third on the list is Switzerland, which would get you 3 points. Fourth on the list, worth 4 points, is Portugal. Fifth on the list, worth 5 points, is Denmark. So well done, James. You get 5 points. Sixth on the list is Slovenia. That will get you 6 points. Seventh on the list is Czechia or Czech Republic. That will get you 7 points. Eighth on the list, the other Scandinavian country, Finland, would have got you 8 points.
How are the Scandies not up there?
Ninth on the list, worth 9 points, is Hungary. And 10th on the list, worth 10 points, is Croatia.
Oh,
wow.
For God's sake.
Your 3 tension answers here are Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany. Amazingly, Norway and Sweden do not make the top 13 of the Global Peace Index. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know the 23 different indicators they count here, but they do not make that list.
I went to Hungary last year, and the policeman let my mate Stu have a go on his taser. So
there you go. Peaceful.
That should have been your indicator right there.
Yeah, that was it. straight away, that tells you everything you need to know. So we move round to the last question of the first round, which is Robbie. So could I have a question number, please?
4, please.
Question number 4. Would you believe it? He's hit the other double point question.
Oh, here we go.
Nailed it.
Here we go. This is a big one. This is a good question. This one. It took me ages to work this one out. So.
Can you tell
This
us if there are
is-
any questions that are bad questions?
This one's god awful, this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think the performance speaks for itself, really. Right, so we are moving on to a film question here, and I am looking for the top 10 highest grossing films of all time with a one-word title. Now, to be on this list, all of these films must simply have one word. This means that films with a number at the end of it will not count. This also means that films that are the something will also not count. To give you a clue, all of the films on the list have been released in the last 30 years. There are 4 tension answers, and of course everything here is doubled. So just to let you know, Max, at the moment, just while you're all thinking here, the quiz that I've obviously written has 5 spaces in it, and somehow you're currently 5th out of 4 people because you're less than 0.
I'm less. I thought I got to. Oh, did I not get to 1?
Unfortunately, your last answer was incorrect, which meant you got -3. So you've had a -5 and a -3. So there's 3 names, a blank space, and then you.
Kanye's laughing at me now.
Edit that one in.
This is outrageous.
I think you're doing great, Max.
Cheers, Stephen. It's good to have a friend here.
When you did give your answer, could you give a few others that you would have gone for as well, please, mate? That's okay.
I'll give you 15 more seconds here, gentlemen.
There are so many films.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can only
And I
think
can't think of
3.
any.
I'm not sure one of them's a film.
EastEnders
Back to
is
counties
not
of
a
the
film. Right then, Robbie.
Okay, so I can only think of 3 films that I think have got one word from the last 30 years. So I'm going to go with Titanic.
Okay, Robbie has
Which I
jumped
don't think was
straight in
called
with
The Titanic.
Okay, moving round to Max.
I'm gonna say Frozen.
Okay, Stephen.
I've got one that I think is a dead cert. Do you know what, I'll go a little bit more out of the box with Shrek. Please don't be called The Shrek.
Right.
James, feel free to explain whatever you might have on your list at this point.
I had 2 bankers that were Avatar and Titanic. I think that they might be the top 2. And then the rest of my list is I've got Wicked, Skyfall, Gladiator, and then something like Wall-E. But I'm not sure if that's one word or 2 words. I'm going to go with, I'm a Bond fan, I'll go with Skyfall.
Okay,
Great film.
great film. Right, so obviously everything is doubled here, gentlemen. So
Oh,
top of the list. So top of the list, worth 2 points, is Avatar. That's top of the list for 2 points. Second on the list, worth 4 points, is Titanic, Robbie, or The Titanic.
Wait there.
No.
Has anyone ever just dealt in 1s and 2s in this quiz
Yeah.
before?
I mean, it's a very safe way of doing it, but the total points that tends to win, normally you wouldn't win by getting 1s and 2s. You do need to throw some biggies in there, especially on the double pointers, to be fair. Which is why I think Steve's at a bit of risk here. So third on the list, worth 6 points, Barbie would have got 6 points.
Of course.
Fourth on the list, worth 8 points, is Frozen Max. So he is
God.
back in the positive. He's overtaken the blank space of the person that didn't turn up. Fifth on the list, worth 10 points, Minions.
I
Would have
fucking
got you.
wrote Minions!
Wow.
Oh,
That did really
fucking
well, so well
Minions!
done.
Sixth on the list, worth 12 points, is Aquaman. That would have got you 12 points. Seventh on the list,
Men's, isn't that?
worth
No.
14, is Skyfall.
Oh,
So
good.
well done,
Okay.
James, for 14 points. 8th on the list, worth 16 points.
Shrek.
Joker. Joker would have got you 16 points. 9th on the list, worth 18 points, was Aladdin. The new Aladdin film.
Really?
The remake of the Aladdin film, the CGI one, would have got you 18 points. And for your maximum 20 points, we're still in the billions at this point, by the way, in terms of box office takings.
Yeah.
I don't think billions existed when Shrek came out, but for a maximum of 20 points, you need to say Zootropolis, of all films.
Christ.
Would have got you 20 points. Amazingly, nobody fell for the 4 tension answers. I thought
Can't catch me like
one
that.
of you would say these. And they were Oppenheimer, which would have got you -10. Spectre, the other Bond film, would
I
have got
didn't
you
think Spectre.
-10.
I probably would have gone for that one as well.
Venom would have got you -10, and Inception would have got you -10. Just to give you some kind of clarity, I think Inception was about 90-something on the top grossing films of all time. So to get down to 14, you had to be sort of in the 90s range of the highest box office takings. Shrek, I didn't have written down on my list. It's probably in the top 1,000 somewhere. But yeah, that is unfortunately -6 for Stephen, which means after round 1, we have a score update, and the current score is in the Champions League spot, 4th place. Max, you are currently sat with 6 points. In 3rd place, Robbie, you're currently sat with 7. Stephen, you're 2nd with 21. And James, you currently sit with 39 points. Just to confirm that James does have his name right now as James Does Quizzes. So, you know, he could be down as the favourite here, but we shall see. So we we jump into the second round. So, Max, as you've got a bit of time on your hands.
Too much. Go on.
If you could give me a number to start round 2.
Have we done 2 yet?
No, 2 is available. Absolutely. Okay, this is a music question. I would like to know, please. Kendrick Lamar made headlines this year, wowing the New Orleans crowd at the Super Bowl halftime show. But can you tell me the last 10 artists to headline the Super Bowl halftime show before him? Now, where there are multiple artists that have taken part, if you give me one of those artists, it will blank out that answer for everyone else. There are 4 tension answers here.
So is Kenny not an answer then? It's all those preceding.
No, it's everyone before him.
Lovely.
So the further back, the more points, basically.
Correct. Yes. Unless you go too far, then yes, obviously
You get punished.
there's those minions again.
Oh, we had to bring up the fucking minions, didn't we? Of course, they did a cracking halftime performance.
Crew called Drake a paedophile.
Always, every time I hear that Kendrick Lamar song now, Steve, it just reminds me of the roast you did with Vic.
I know.
The A minor line. It's so good.
Ooh.
I'll give you all 10 more seconds, gentlemen, on this.
All of the
Okay, Max, what
Hello.
do you have for me?
The only one I can really think of is Coldplay, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, Coldplay for Max. Over to you, Stephen.
All the ones I've written, I feel like did it in the past 3 years. She might have done it a bit too long ago, but I'll go Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Stephen. Okay, over to you, James.
Well, my 2 answers that I was going to say were Coldplay, Lady Gaga. I've no idea whether either of them are right, but they seemed like they would be right. I'm kind of falling into Stephen's camp. I'm not sure if they would have done it too long ago, but I'm going to say Katy Perry.
And Robbie, you're welcome to explain anything you've got written down.
I'm going to try. I need to push the boat. I remember that Eminem and Train Snoop did it a couple of years ago, but I need points now. I can't just keep batting off singles. So I'm just going to pick a random musician, and I've got a choice of 2 here that I've written down. U2 or Rihanna. and I'm going to go Rihanna.
They're quite diametrically opposed, aren't
Yeah,
they?
well, you got to mix it up.
Okay, so working backwards. The year before Kendrick Lamar was Usher featuring Alicia Keys. So I would have taken both of those answers as for 1 point. Second on the list, the year before, was Rihanna. So well done,
Oh,
Robbie.
wow.
You get yourself 2 points. Third on the list was Third on the list was indeed the collection of artists. So Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent. That would have got you 3 points, any one of those. Fourth on the list with his wonderful facial features was The Weeknd, which would have got you 4 points. Fifth on the list was the combined effort of Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, which would have got you 5 points. Sixth on the list, a lot of people don't remember them doing it, Maroon 5 actually did the halftime show for 6 points. Seventh on the list was Justin Timberlake. He would have got you 7 points. Eighth on the list was Lady Gaga for 8 points. So well done, Stephen. Ninth on the list for 9 points is Coldplay. So well done, Matt.
Oh, wow.
And for the maximum 10 points, you needed to say Katy Perry.
Wow.
So James,
Get
you
in.
get the 10 points there. Well done. No one fell into the 4 tension answers. They would have been Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Madonna, and the Black Eyed Peas. They would have scored you -5. So well done, everyone. You managed to get yourself positive scores there. I'm not sure how much that has an effect on the scores, but we will look at that in a moment because we move around to Stephen for a question number, please.
I've forgotten which ones have gone, but I'll get 9.
9 is available. Yes, indeed.
German.
This.
He's just asking to stop.
So this is a music question. Again, we are looking for, as of today, the top 10 most streamed songs on Spotify by Taylor Swift. Please, gentlemen.
Oh.
And for this question, there are 5 tension answers here. She's a biggie. Obviously, to confirm that to be on the list, the song must be classed as a Taylor Swift song. It cannot be her featuring on a song. So if you go to the song, it must be on an album. It must come up as her on Spotify.
Do you have to say if it's a version? Because she's done like a bunch of things where it's a version or something.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, having gone down the list, the version part doesn't really take into consideration. And yeah, the song title will be fine. Doesn't really have that much of an effect.
I think I've only got one or two answers for this. So good job I'm first.
If you're ready, Stephen, you can jump in with that
Yeah.
answer whenever you're ready.
I'll go anti-hero, please.
Anti-hero for Stephen. Okay, moving round to James. What do you have for us?
I've got a few. I'll go with my personal favourite, I Knew You Were Trouble.
No problem.
I get the feeling Max is going to come up with an original song.
Over to you, Robbie.
I wouldn't normally mind, but I only know one Taylor Swift song. I'm under pressure. A song that may or may not be called Shake It Off.
Yeah. And finally, over to you, Max. Feel free to explain any answers that you might have.
I've got 3, 22, but I feel like that's just going to be too big. I think it's called Love Story or Romeo and Juliet. I'm going to go with Love Story. I just hope it's not. Hope it's not too big.
No problem.
This was a really difficult one because I think a lot of her more recent stuff is probably going to be higher on Spotify, but I don't know any of the names of the songs.
Well, going down the top of the list, top of the list for 1 point by quite a way is Cruel Summer. That would get you 1 point. I personally don't know that song either.
Doesn't fill me with an immense amount of confidence in the rest of our answers.
Second on the list is Blank Space, which again I don't think I know that song myself. Third on the list is Anti-Hero for 3 points, Stephen. So well done. Fourth on the list is Lover. That would get you 4 points. Fifth on the list is Shake It Off, Robbie, for 5 points. So
Proper
nicely
Swiftie,
done.
yeah.
Sixth on the list is a word called cardigan.
Oh,
Stephen. That would have got you 6 points. 7th on the list is August. That would get you 7 points. 8th on the list is the song Style. That would get you 8 points.
That was on my list.
9th on the list is Don't Blame Me. That would get you 9 points. And for your maximum 10-point answer, you need to say the song with 1.28 billion streams, which is Look What You Made Me Do. Because your 5 tension answers are, in order, Delicate, Wildest Dreams, You Need to Calm Down, All Too Well, and Love Story, man.
God's sake!
Amazingly, I Knew You Were Trouble is 19th.
Wow.
Or 18th, sorry, on the list. So it is lower than the tension zone for -3, James. That has really put the cat amongst the pigeons going into or midway through the second round. So we move round to James for a question number.
I'll go 5, please.
Question number 5 is a question that is a sport/geography question. I would like to know, in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, this will take place across the US, Canada, and Mexico. There are in total 16 host cities that are taking part across the 3 countries. I'd like to know the first 10 alphabetically, please. There are, for this question, 3 tension answers.
How many in total are there? Did you say that?
16. So 16 total. I'm looking for the first 10 alphabetically, please.
Is this one of your horrible questions, Ian?
Yeah, maybe. I actually haven't looked at the remaining questions, so I would class this as probably one of the more horrible ones, to be fair. Honestly, the amount of comments I've had on the video on Saturday going that Durham is not an answer, or Durham is an answer, or County Durham is an answer is... I remember doing the episode with Dara from The Chase, and he said something like, if you do a quiz and something is wrong, everyone will tell you about it.
Yeah. As somebody that frequently has that, like you almost, there's a point where you almost want to get a question. If you're looking for engagement, you want to get a question wrong, or you want to.
That's why I'm doing this, mate.
Because people will let you know, and it will rank higher, and you'll get all the views.
Exactly.
What's this question again? Is it the state or the place?
We'll basically, I've done it as the city.
Okay.
So, or the nearest major city would probably be a better way of potentially angling it. But yeah, they all are pretty much in the major city. We will give you 15 more seconds on this, gentlemen. The time of night that we're at, this is like tension after dark. So it's a free-for-all at this point. Could say that we've all got things to do in the morning, but
I have a busy schedule, actually. Probably going to lie in till 12.
Okay then, James. Let's lock in your answer.
I'm gonna go a little bit off piste here. I'm gonna go Guadalajara.
Ooh, Guadalajara for James. Okay. Over to you, Robbie.
I'm going to go Miami.
Robbie with Miami. Max?
I don't know a thing about football. I'm going to say Kansas.
Yeah, okay. And Stephen, any explanation? Feel free to jump in.
I'm not great with American places in terms of the state or the city. I don't know the difference. I had Miami. I've got New York, Houston, LA. New York. Would it be? Oh, it might be New Jersey. I'll just go Los Angeles, please.
Not a problem. Right, so working from the top, gentlemen, you have for 1 point the city of Atlanta, would get you 1 point. Second on the list is Boston for 2 points. Third on the list is Dallas for 3 points.
Dallas.
Fourth on the list is Guadalajara, James, so you
Okay.
get 4 points, so well played there.
I will take that.
Fifth on the list is Houston in Texas. That would have got you 5 points. Sixth on the list, miraculously, is Kansas City.
Wow.
for
Oh, you
6
kidding?
points, Max. So well done. Plucked that from nowhere. Seventh on the
Well.
list is Los Angeles. So
Yay.
Stephen, you get 7 points. 8th on the list, I thought someone might say it, Mexico City, the capital of Mexico, would have got you 8 points. 9th on the list for 9 points is Miami.
Wow.
So well done, Robbie. Your only better answer was in Mexico. Monterrey would have got you 10 points. Nobody fell into the trap of the 3 tensions, which would have been New York/New Jersey. I would have taken both answers for that. They would have fitted in the same place anyway. Philadelphia would have been one of your other tension answers, and the 3rd tension answer would have been San Francisco. So, very well done there, gentlemen. And we move over to the last question of round 2, which is Robbie. Question number, please.
I'll go for 6, please.
Question number 6. Okay, this is maybe one of the slightly semi-horrible ones. This is a history question. So,
Please be
I
your
would like
internet
to know,
history.
since 1216,
Oh God.
there have been 12 individual names of kings and queens of England. Some have obviously been used more than once. I'd like to know the first 10 of the 12 names that have been kings and queens of England since 1216 in alphabetical order, please. As there are 12, there are 2 tension answers.
Shit a brick.
Was it kings and queens?
Kings and queens since 1216.
Is this just... Oh, so...
So it's not about the number of times the
Okay.
name's been used. It's just just taking all of the names that have been used, regardless of how many times they've been used, in alphabetical order. There's 2 tensions.
1-0.
To Liverpool.
Yeah. Harvey
It
Elliott
sounded like you
scored.
Two king
Liverpool have been
shots.
absolutely battered the whole game. So
I'll push you for an answer in about 10 seconds.
Every name works. King Brian. That's everything.
King Nigel. Arise, King Gary.
All right then, Robbie. Let's take your answer.
I'm going to go with James.
I feel like that's. I take
Yeah,
offence
there's
to that. That's my name.
Let's jump straight in with it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Over to you.
Well, Max and Stephen didn't sound right, so Ian's
Cheers.
definitely not being a king Ian.
Over to you, Max.
Right, I'm going to go with Richard.
Okay.
That's good.
Stephen.
I remember seeing a list of all the names on like a ruler or something. Oh, a ruler! Oh, I just got it.
Hey.
It's taken me 20 years to get that. I swear, mine. Well, Stephen was on there, but I don't know whether it might have been very early on. I'll go George.
Okay. And finally, over to you, James. Any explanations?
I think I might have them. So I think Anne, Charles, Edward, Elizabeth, George, Henry, James, John, Mary, Richard, Victoria, William. So I'm going to go. I think Richard is what I would say is the 10th, unless Stephen is before. Stephen is a king, but I'm not sure if I think he's a little bit before. But I think I'm going to go Mary.
So,
Great knowledge.
If it's right.
well, I'll give you. I'll let you know that you are. There's a chunk right.
Okay,
There's
so
a chunk
Stephen
wrong.
Stephen might be right then. John might be wrong.
Going down the top of the list in alphabetical order, I think you nailed the first 6. So
I think
Anne
falls
is
apart
1,
John.
Charles is 2, Edward is 3, Elizabeth is 4, George is 5 for Stephen, Henry is 6. There isn't a John after 1216, but there is a James for 7 points for Robbie. The one you forgot is the one that ruled for 9 days.
Oh, I was going to Lady Jane Grey. Yeah, I didn't know if that
Lady
counted or
Jane
not.
Grey, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely it counts. She was a queen, so Jane would have been for 8 points. But that does mean that Mary is 9, and the other one that hasn't been said is Philip. There was a King Philip in the 1300s, I believe. He was a proper king. I will double check that, James. I will double check that. But I remember writing it down, thinking I can't believe there was a King Philip, but there is. That's your 10-point answer, which means your 2 tension answers are indeed Richard and Victoria. So that means that after 2 rounds, and we're going to go with that scoring, So that means that currently after 2 rounds and 8 questions, we currently have the scoreboard as in 4th place with 11 points, we have Max. In 3rd place with 30 points, we have Robbie. In 2nd place with 44 points, we have Stephen. And currently leading, but catchable, on 59 games.
Okay.
With 2 questions to go.
What about you?
He's only 15. He's 15 points in front. There's 2 questions to go. Sadly, no doubles in there. But
I would say
does
gladly
mean-
no doubles in there.
gladly for James, there's no doubles in there. But that
Bloody
does mean
ridiculous.
that Max, because you are in 4th place, you get the choice of the last 2 questions and will be going first.
Oh, brilliant.
So the order will be Max, Robbie, Stephen, and James for the last question. You have question number 3 and question number 7 to choose.
I'm going to go with number 3, please. Question number 3.
Question number 3. Okay. I would like to know, based on 2020 data, so this is the most recent data that I could find. I don't believe looking at the numbers it would be that different. The top 10 breakfast cereals sold in the United Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
There are 3 attention answers here, people.
So, doing the maths, is there any way that I can beat anyone?
Can you beat anyone?
Yeah.
Even if I got 2 10s?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can
Oh,
absolutely
yeah,
do
okay,
that.
yeah, brilliant.
Might not be the case after this question, but certainly
You
at
never
this
know.
point, you absolutely could not come last.
And we don't have to worry about alphabetical order or anything, or Scrabble.
No, this is just most sold.
Can you imagine adding a Scrabble dimension into this as well?
Yeah. If you were doing a Sudoku backwards, where would the cereal?
I don't need to worry about any of the cereal mascots marrying each other and that's skewing the results, do I?
No.
Okay.
It would appear not.
Any that were top for 9 days?
Yeah.
What about in terms of spin-offs? Do they count towards the main thing, or is it just they're their own?
So looking at the list, I would say that you would just focus on the major brand name or the product name.
Got you. And where do you stand on muesli?
In the kitchen.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Hey, let's
Anything that I would say anything that you would put in a bowl is going to be on the list.
Oh,
Cookies.
fruit,
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anything you would put in a bowl.
fish.
Soup.
Absolutely.
My breakfast soup.
Another bowl. You're stacking them in the kitchen.
It hurts my teeth.
Was this the banter that you were hoping for? Ian?
This is it.
Would you like us
It's
to be
only
quiet
taken
again?
It's taken 9 questions to get to this point.
Do we redo it?
I've got,
We go again, people. We go again.
I've got another question. You know, like these supermarket spin-off ones.
Yeah. So I mean I was gonna actually caveat this a little bit. There's no caveat, but I would say that like own brands do not exist in this list at all. So you know, you're looking at your
big
major, your big hitters.
Poor Harvest Morn.
I'll give you another 10 more seconds on this.
10 more minutes. I'll give you another hour.
I've run out of cereals.
Okay then, Max. I'll let you jump in at this point.
Alpen.
Robbie, as you're in 3rd, over to you.
I'm not pushing for the title here. I'm just trying to hold off Max. So I'm gonna go.
Boycott
I think
it.
it's a bank. I'm gonna go Weetabix.
Weetabix. Okay. And Stephen.
I'm not here to do anything special. Come on.
Still with an opportunity to win at this point. Just saying.
Yeah, but not with these answers. I'll go with. I'm gonna have to take Cocoa Pops.
Okay. And James, over to you finally. Feel free to run through the massive list of cereals. I'm sure you've got that.
I mean, there's no surprise. I mean, you've got cornflakes, your shreddies, your Rice Krispies, your Honey Nut, I don't know if porridge counts. I think I'm going to go for Cheerios, though.
Okay. So, top of the list, And you know, I will say that there are 3 big uns on this list that outweigh the rest of the list quite considerably, with number 1 being Weetabix, Robbie. So you get yourself 1 point. Second on the list, as it does go in a bowl and you can eat them raw as well as with milk, is Quaker Oats.
Oh.
So I would have taken porridge. Quaker Oats is second on the list. Third on the list is Crunchy Nut.
Ooh.
So those 3, they are all almost double the 4th place cereal, which is cornflakes. So cornflakes would have got you 4 points. Cocoa Pops is 5 points, so well done, Stephen. 6th on the list is Cheerios, so well done, James. That's 6 points. 7th on the list, Special K. That's got you 7 points. 8th on the list, nobody said it. Shreddies would have got you 8 points. 9th on the list, Rice Krispies.
Oh, fucking
Nobody
I had all
said
these.
They're both on my list.
And for 10 points, you needed to say shredded wheat. Would have got you 10 points because your 3 tension answers are crave, which would have been a minus 5 points. Alpen, Max,
What?
And amazingly, I thought someone would say Frosties, which also would have been a tension answer for minus 5. Yes, unfortunately, Max.
Unfortunately,
So that has had absolutely no movement on the score there.
I think I've gone down.
Yeah, so luckily for Max, being on 6 points with the last question, the worst you can do is finish on 1 at this point.
I think that's a noble aim.
It's still better that you turned up. You're higher than the blank space currently on this.
That's good. That's good.
Got in front of me, so well done.
This is Taylor Swift.
I was going to say, ironically, that got you 2 points in the Taylor Swift round.
So that means we move to the last question, of which there is only 1 left. The order stays the same, and we move to the final question, which is a music question. And I would like to know, as of today, the top 10 most streamed songs on Spotify for Coldplay. Again, as per the Taylor Swift, in order to be on the list, they must be Coldplay songs. They cannot be a song in which they feature in. And there are 3 tension answers here.
Surely Max, this is right up your street after the Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, I've got my answer already, mate.
Wow. Is it Alpen?
January.
This sort of proves that last time when you lost, it wasn't a fluke.
We'll have a word after this, okay? Just realised I've been doing this on my P60, so that's a nice slap in the face.
That is bleak.
Looking at all that money I used to make.
I mean, that payoff was worth the episode alone, I think.
I've been doing mine on £100 note.
I'll probably rip it up and throw it in the bin later.
Banter, boys. I love it. We've got to the 10th question, and finally we've got some
Cut this in at
content.
the beginning.
Yes.
Half an hour of silence.
Yeah, there's a way to reverse the actual quiz. The order.
Okay then, Max. Let's have your answer. What are you going for?
Paradise.
Paradise for Max.
That's a dream.
Robbie, over to you.
Yellow, please.
Yellow for Robbie. Stephen?
I think torn between 2, but I think they're both pretty obvious. I'll go with Viva La Vida.
Okay. And James, over to you. Any explanations? Feel free to jump in.
I don't really like Coldplay.
I didn't write the quiz based off your musical.
I prefer Taylor Swift, to be honest, but
Well, go
that did me really well. So I've got Scientist, Trouble, Speed of Sound, Princess of China. There's a couple more that I can hear the tune, but I can't think of what they're called. But I'm going to go for something just like this. They did with the Chainsmokers.
Mm-hmm. You mean the Chainsmokers song, something just like this?
Oh no!
Oh dear. Unfortunately,
Minus
top
20?
of the list would have been that song,
The
but it
scientist.
is not a Coldplay song.
Ah.
It's a Chainsmokers song. So instantly, I can tell you that is an incorrect answer.
Max, there's a chance.
Greatest comeback ever.
Top of the list
2 bloody music quizzes.
is Yellow, Robbie. So Yellow actually gets you 1 point. It's the biggest song by Coldplay.
He declares,
That's
I'll just bat up to the crowd.
Just
7 not out.
lifting the bat up.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Just that lovely little single because for 2 points is Viva La Vida.
Oh, for God's
You get 2 points for that. Third on the list, it was mentioned, The Scientist would have got you 3 points. Fourth on the list is A Sky Full of Stars.
Oh, that's
Which
the
I think we
one.
all know that song. Fifth on the list, didn't hear it. I thought someone might say it is Fix You. Would have got you 5
Yeah.
points. Sixth on the list is Hymn for the Weekend. That would have got you 6
That's the one I was
points.
trying to think of.
Seventh on the list is Paradise.
Hey.
So you get
Yes.
7 points. Well
Big
done.
numbers.
Eighth on the list is My Universe. Ninth on the list is Sparks. And for the 10-point answer, you needed to say the song which I've never heard of, Adventure of a Lifetime. Don't know that song. Your 3 tensions on that question would have been slightly older songs. Clocks would have got you 11 points. Would have got you -5. Magic and Trouble, which was mentioned, would also have been a tension answer in 13th place. Which means after 10 questions of what can only be described as somewhat not. I wouldn't call it a shambles, but it's been a great quiz. I've enjoyed every minute of it. We've only really got 3
from the
people
first
involved.
2 or 3 rounds where there wasn't much
Exactly.
chat.
Exactly. The banter between the players has really kind of kicked in after question 9, which is great. It's a very end-heavy episode of the quiz. We have the final scores in as Max. You have finished with 13 points. He's in the double figures.
Oh, he's
Well
afraid
done.
of the number 13 as well.
Let's
Let's make it 12.
Third place. Robbie, you finished with 32. And in second place, Stephen, you have 51, which means our winner of the second series of tension with 62 points is James from James Does Quizzes. So well done, James. Very well done. Did you all enjoy the show? I know it was a little bit loose, a little bit, loosey-goosey.
Few ups and
but we got
downs.
That's tension for you. That's what happens.
there. That's the game of tension. That's how we play the game. So congratulations to James, who wins the second series of tension. Unbelievably well played.
Thank you.
Some really great answers, some not so great answers from other people, but we don't dwell on that. And
Feels like you have.
hopefully there will be a third series, but who knows? After this, it might all crumble and fall. But we shall see.
We tried our best.
Positive note to
Disgusting.
end on.
A positive note to end on. Tension. Okay, so here we go. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much for taking part. James, congratulations. And we shall see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
So there we have it. Wasn't quite the episode I was hoping for, but congratulations to James for winning the second series of tension. Just a quick note to say thank you ever so much for all your kind comments about the content, all the shares, and please do subscribe if you enjoy the content. It really does help the channel. I know a lot of you have been messaging about how to send in questions, which you are more than welcome to do. You can do so by sending an email to info@tension.com. That is, of course, tension with a 1 and a 0 and not an I and an O. You can also follow us on the social channels, primarily Instagram and TikTok. We are at tension_game. Again, tension with a 1 and a 0, not an I and an O. And fingers crossed, you'll see me very soon for Series 3. I'm going to take a little break, write some more questions, get some more guests on board, and hopefully I'll see you very, very soon.